Hello, good evening. I am sure that your day was beautiful and also result oriented. Can you hear me loud and clear? All right, I see that you are up, and I believe that all is well with you. It's beautiful to be here again. It's nice to be here on this Saturday, uh, Thursday evening. I'm so much in a hurry to go into the weekend. Yes, good evening, Mrs. Ladi Felix.
Thank you. Good evening.
Good evening, how
How
are
are you,
you?
sir? I'm good.
I'm fine. Nice to have you here.
Yeah,
Yeah, we are
I'm
live
happy
on
to be here
Facebook.
too.
I told you I was going on air to talk about something very important. But your picture is still.
It's still, but it's
All
moving
right.
here. Oh.
Good evening, everyone. I want to appreciate you for joining us this evening. We want to discuss the best form of investment. Ladi will be here with us briefly and then she will be off again. So, Ladi, can you hear me now?
I'm hearing you. Are you hearing me too?
Yeah, it's we're good to go. So, basically, I wanted to talk about the best form of investment, which is investing in yourself and how you can develop your capacity because that is every you can lose everything, but in life, if you are well equipped inside of you, you can start all over again and go on to make progress. That's basically what we want to talk about. So maybe before you go, you just give us your take on what you believe personal development can do for a person.
Okay, you've already
Yeah,
said it all now, especially in this if you like say economy or world that we find ourselves.
yeah,
So many things that we have before now depended on or felt like they were real support are really crumbling before our eyes. So
yes.
at the end of the day, you find out that what you really have is yourself. And even in the because I'm in the mental health world per se, you find out that a lot of people are really going down because they are no longer able to be seen or
Yeah.
find the strength to be sane in an insane world.
Mm.
So really, I think it's a tall call now for everybody to really like take out time to really, invest in yourself, know yourself, and understand yourself, be content, forgive, and so many other things that you need to do just to be in a better place for yourself.
Yes.
It's not being selfish. Some people think, it's selfishness, thinking about myself. No, just like most of us that will have gone through will have used the airplane. You remember
Yeah.
the instruction they will always give you. In case of emergency, you have to
Yes.
save yourself first to be able to save others.
Others.
So, yes, so you are doing a whole lot of good, in fact, to everybody by saving yourself first, because that is the only way you can save other people. So when you
That's
think that
almost
you can
like
go
it's
save,
almost yeah, it's almost like saying love your neighbor as yourself, no more than yourself.
yes, yes, as yourself first.
Yeah.
So you really have to take care of yourself before you can really say you want to take care of others. And and it's really very important right now. It's a very important call now, because we see a lot of people. Yeah, I know there's another thing too with statistics in Nigeria, especially. We
Yes.
don't have statistics. If we have
Yes.
statistics and people can really check and see the number of people that are going down on depression, on anxiety, on suicide, I think maybe a lot of people will begin to take this thing serious. If you log into the internet, you see mostly statistics about the US, the UK, and all that. But in Nigeria, hardly. We don't keep records. But every day people go down on suicide up till now. We still have people that kill themselves like every day. So it's really very important. Investing in yourself.
Okay. So, how important is this investment when it comes to uh, being consistent? Because somebody might say, I went to school, I have a degree in psychology, I have a degree in engineering. Like you, you,
Uh-huh.
you, you're a civil engineer by training. So you're
Turned
working on
banker.
people's turn banker. From there, after counting money, you're now working on people's minds. So, can you talk us through your journey briefly before we allow you to go? Talk us through your journey.
Well,
Did
of
you
course,
ever
that's
imagine? Did you ever imagine that at one point you will work in a bank, and then you're? I know that at some point you were also very conscious about helping people develop purpose, relationship issues, and all of that.
yes, yes.
For me, I was surprised when I started seeing you talk about mental issues.
Health. Okay.
You know, that is not a very popular stuff
Sure.
in our
Topic.
climate. In our climate, okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there's a bit of noise so much in the background from your end.
Okay, serious.
Yeah.
Okay. Hold on.
In tune to letting the Holy Spirit begin to pray for us. Sometimes I'm in the store, I just start praying in the spirit.
Okay. Maybe it's the
All right.
TV.
Yes, yes. So maybe you talk us through your journey a little. How did you come about? Because as it is now, this is your life's work that you're doing at this moment.
Yeah.
How did you
Yeah.
develop yourself? How did you develop yourself
Well,
to come to this point?
the truth is that I don't know if I've come to the end of the trip yet. You know.
Okay,
We
there are
keep-
still some more shockers.
Yeah, it's possible. I'm very open, and I'm very like anything can happen. Seriously.
You are evolving. You are evolving.
Yes, so it's still part of the evolving. I know the truth is that, like you said, you called it my journey. So
Yes.
I have come to accept it as my journey. So I don't really like feel bad about it, or I just feel like everything was orchestrated by God to bring me to this particular point that I am. You know,
Right now.
I look at it and I said, if I had not had a foundation in the banking sector, I wonder how I would have been right now, or where I would have been, because the banking sector exposed me to a lot of things that I'm grateful for right now. So every of your journey, by the time you look at it, at the end of the day, is going to add up if you continue to be intentional and continue to be optimistic in or especially in finding out who you really are. Because the question I've always asked, even while in school getting the banking job, was, who am I? What's my purpose? Who am I? What's my purpose? So that had helped in driving me to this point that I am, making major decisions that were not major and crazy decisions that a lot of people didn't even like understand why I took that decisions. But
Yeah.
I just realized that I had to keep moving. I had to just keep moving until I get to probably the point and I'll say, oh, okay, this is my final bus stop. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm still evolving. And I'm finding joy in whatever I'm doing. Until, like, for instance, when I started the banking job, I was excited about it. I loved it. I was doing it. But at a particular point, I lost joy. I lost my peace. So I knew that it was time to move on. And just around that point, I started learning about mental health because it affected me too. When I tell people that I had mental health issues, they are like, you swimming in money and having mental health issue. And I say it's not about money, it's about your mindset and all that. So I
What
got
gives
to a
you
point where
fulfillment?
yes, I got to a point where I've had enough, and I was like, no, I needed to move on. I chose my sanity, I chose my happiness, I chose I chose purpose, and that was why I left banking, and this is where I find myself, and I'm making the best out of it, and I'm still developing myself. I'm doing an MBA now. People are asking me, what are you using MBA for? I said, don't worry. When the time comes for me to use the MBA,
You will use it.
I'll use it. I'm doing an MBA. I'm doing a master's in guidance and counseling. I'm just enjoying myself. I'm just cruising. So one
So
step at a time.
is there an end? Is there a point where somebody comes to and he says or she says, okay, I've had enough learning. Let me begin to put into practice everything I've learned. I will stop learning now. No more reading, no more learning of new things.
For me, I don't think there's any point you get to and you said you have finished learning.
Learning,
Really,
yeah.
this life, you think that you have gotten life under your armpit, and then it blows you from one side, and you're like, I've never seen this side of life before. So every day we learn. Every day we learn, and for me, it's about opportunities. Once opportunity brings itself, I just grab it because as of course we know of the saying that says when you stop learning, you start dying. So I always feel
Yes.
like I need to just keep learning, keep learning. Of course, I'm not saying like there are some days, of course, I take break. I take a break from books, from everything. I just relax. I watch film. I go to cinema. I can take like some days, 2, 3 days, and I say these 2, 3 days, especially when I have
You're
to
not
write
doing
some tests.
anything. Yes.
Especially when I have to write some tests. So after exams, I allow the brain to cool down. I don't do anything for like a week. I just flex, So, but aside that, of course, after resting, what else? I pick up my books and I continue
And you
reading.
go back to
While,
it.
but the other point I wanted to make was that you don't keep taking in without giving out, then you become
Giving
still.
out.
That's what the problem is.
Yeah.
Yes. So as you are learning, you must look for avenue to share what you are learning. Could be from your family. For instance, some people say, I don't have a job, so what do I do? Whatever you are learning, you can always exercise it in your family. You have a
Yeah.
local assembly, if you're a Christian or a Muslim or whatever. You have some community where you can practice, where you can volunteer, where you can, do something. Thank God for social media. You can go online and teach what you have learned. So whatever you learn is supposed to be shared. That is how you can really, say that you have learned something. But when you
Something.
learn and keep it to yourself, you have not learned anything.
You have not learned anything because it is
Yeah,
that knowledge is not tested outside of
of
where
course, of
you have
course,
kept it. All
of
right.
course.
It's been an interesting chat with Ladi Felix, a mental health expert all the way from Abuja. And if you're just joining us, we're discussing the best investment, and that's the investment in yourself. Before I allow Ladi to have a last say, I'd like to also say that in the course of this weekend, on Saturday, we're running a conference organized by the Faith and Business Conference Group, and it's titled Impossible is Nothing. Impossible is Nothing. It's an in-person conference which will be taking place right here in Kano. But Ladi is one of our speakers, and so she will be joining us all the way from Abuja via StreamYard, and it will be transmitting live on Facebook. So you want to hear more from Ladi on Saturday, if you can join us anytime from 12 p.m. on Saturday, the 20, is it 25th? Saturday is 25th, yes, Saturday 25th of September. Ladi will be speaking to us at the conference in visual method through StreamYard and streaming on Facebook. So join us and you will hear more on the subject of mental health, because everybody has some form of breakdown. It's because we don't recognize it. That's the reason we don't even know what it is. But when we have the knowledge, when we have the understanding, we will actually begin to be more sane than we have always been. So, Ladi, let's have your last take on the subject of investing in yourself. And I'd like for you to speak to the hearts of young people. You know, young people are on a fast lane. They just want to get everything they want here and now. They want to blow quickly, you know, and they don't think of process. They don't think of investing in themselves before they blow. Blowing is not you know, it doesn't come through just wishful thinking or doing one sharp stuff. So what do you have to say to our young people who have these microwave concept of success?
Okay, so I feel like you said, there's really nothing wrong in you desiring to be successful. There's nothing wrong. You want to be successful, fine. There's that inbuilt desire in almost all of us to you know, be successful, live a comfortable life, and you know, be able to take care of your family and stuff like that. But of course, what we've always seen is that the method and the path most times our youth take to this success is not a lasting method. It doesn't last. Yes, it doesn't last. So people say, okay, most times some of these great people that we now talk about, they've gone through the process, and then you know what has worked for them had worked for them. We're still studying it. But then our youth of nowadays, the Gen Z, they are looking at, no, those people are still old. But whatever has given someone results is worth studying, especially positive results. Someone that's been influential, from his youth to his adulthood, to his old age, he's been celebrated. You know, you want to sit down and look at, okay, what were the method? What did he do? Why is he lasting? And all that. And so I feel like, you know, our youth of nowadays, that's the Gen Z, is unfortunate really what is happening now and what they are exposed to. But I still feel like I tell a lot of them that, see, you just need to make up your mind to do the right thing even when everybody is doing the wrong thing. And one of the ways you know the right thing is if you look at role models. If you have role models, people that have gone past and they've done the right thing, study their lives, and just, you know, pattern your life for a lasting effect, not just temporary and, you know, temporary enjoyment that will not last, you know. So I understand that the environment or the world is crazy right now. You know, education does not pay anymore. They feel like, why will I go to university and spend 6 years in the university when I can go and do music and you know, live the rough life, and in one night I will make millions, or you know, go and do life what do they call it now,
Big
whatever,
brother.
just big brother stuff, and then hit 90 million at once and all that. I see, let's go and study these things. I don't have the statistics, but most people that blow that way, they don't last. They don't last. So why not choose lasting effect to temporary effect? Things that will just give you temporary joy and then is not lasting. Because normally what we're talking about, mental health, what affects you mentally too are things that, affect you positively, especially when you feel like you are impacting lives, when you feel like you are living a purposeful life. when you feel like you are fulfilled and content. But most times when you want to hit it fast and all that, it doesn't give you lasting joy, and then your mental health is also affected.
Affected. I find something very interesting with our discussion tonight.
Mm.
Every line has some statement about mental health.
Yes.
Yes, every line has. So that's an aspect of life that obviously we have not been very conscious of,
Yeah.
and if we will take the time to understand that our mental health is what's watching and taking care of, much as we take care of our physical health, then we will achieve more in life. True?
Mm. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. All right. It's been a pleasure having you, even though it was supposed to be a snapshot thing. We look forward to having you
Uh,
talk to us
okay.
at the
Saturday.
Business and Faith Conference on Saturday.
Yeah. Okay.
So have a lovely night. I will continue
Thank
from here.
you.
God bless you.
Okay. Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you. Bye. All right. That was Ladi Felix, a mental health expert who joined me from Abuja to talk a little about how you may invest in yourself. All right. So let's wrap up this discussion from this point. And I'd like for you to drop your comments. You have questions you want to ask. It's important that you ask your questions. I think I'll be able to take some questions before we wrap this up. Now, we have been talking about the most valuable investment. A lot of us want to invest in business. We want money to be multiplied by our investing in one trade or the other. We go to school and we consider that as an investment in our future because we can get a job. We, send our children to school because we believe that that's an investment in their future. But beyond formal education, beyond putting money in a venture and all of that, there is an investment that you need to consider and take seriously. And that's the investment in your mind. Investing in your mind is so critically important that the way your mind is fixed is how your life is set. So we have something called the mindset. That is the setting of your mind. Your mind is always set on the basis of what information you have invested in it, what level of wisdom and understanding that it has. Your mind cannot work without information. It cannot work in a void. And so the basic investment in your mind is information, and right information. It is from your mind that you make decisions. It is on your mind that thoughts develop to form ideas. It is your mind that is the landing spot of everything that happens in your life. Nobody acts and lives from the point of void mind. The mind is always occupied with something. It cannot be void. It is either occupied with something positive or it is occupied with something absolutely negative. All right. And it is the way the mind is set that your life is set. And so, how is the setting of your mind? Is your mind set for success? Is your mind set to do the right things? Is your mind set for the best life that you can ever dream about? Now, investing in your mind is so important that you must put it front and center of your life's activities. Every day, find a way to learn something new. Every day, find a way to learn something new. And you cannot do that without observation, without critical thinking, without reading and gathering information, quality information. either in the line of your profession or general information based on the things happening around you. Because if you do not understand, for instance, the problems that society has or the problems that your community has got, it is not possible. It is absolutely impossible for you to fashion out solutions. So if you understand what is happening around you and you can fashion out a solution based on your endowment, based on your skills that must have been developed over time, then you can be a solution provider. And money comes to only solution providers. Money comes only to problem solvers. If you do not have the capacity to solve problems, forget about having money. People who go to work, even paid employment from 9 to 5, they are solving problems for their employers. Those who are running their businesses and who have products and services that they sell, they have solution for somebody's problem. And in today's world, you don't just sell raw solution, you sell refined solutions. Refined solutions are solutions that people now understand that can solve their problems. The peculiarity problems are becoming more complex. Challenges are becoming more complex. And so you have to refine your solution. You have to structure your solution. You have to particularize your solution to the uniqueness of the problems. And then you will have enough people looking for you. But that takes the investment of knowledge, investment in seeking for, information that will enhance your skill set. And so do not be averse to spending money on getting information. That is one of the areas that a lot of us do not do anything about. When was the last time you deliberately walked into a library and picked a book or registered in a library? Now, if that is not very common around you, when was the last time you walked into a bookstore and deliberately looked for books to buy? When was that time? When was the last time you did that? When was the last time you asked somebody who you know, like me? I have a library in the house, all right? I have books in virtually all major subjects you can think about, all right? When was the last time, if you were my friend or you are my friend, when was the last time you asked me to give you a book so you can read? All right? You have to make investments in developing your mind, in building yourself up, because the person who is built up is the person that will be sought after. The person who knows is the one who leads the way. Readers are leaders. Information seekers are leaders. If you do not know, you don't have direction. All right. Information inspires direction, inspires ideas. Your mind has to be refreshed on a constant basis so that it can generate ideas. A man who is always refreshing his mind with fresh information will never lack ideas. Take that from me. I am very serious about this. And this is not a motivational talk. It is real life situation. It is real life counsel. If you know where you're headed and you have solutions for people's problems or for society's problem, you are the one people will look for. Okay? So it is important for you to take informal courses, take trainings, read books in the field that you are trying to build yourself in. And beyond that, look for someone who is in that field or who you know can help you grow in that field. And come under the person's mentoring, come under the person's coaching. And sometimes it will involve your parting with funds, parting with money, okay? Do not spare the expense. There was a scripture, there's a scripture in the Bible that says, if you need to, buy go borrow money and buy information. You have to do that. A very senior man of God in the country once said that he sold his shoe to buy a book once. Today, if he wants to buy 1,000,000 shoes in one day, he can afford it. But there was a time he had to sell his shoes. One of the excuses that we give ourselves, which is actually no excuse, is that I don't have money to buy books. I don't have money to register for this course you're advertising. I don't have money. I don't have. Everyone who started and who built themselves up to the point where they are an envy of others today never really had when they started. They just did everything to get information, everything legal. If it means doing a media job so you can get money to fund that training, please do it. Please do it. In order to pass through secondary school, I paid my way by pushing truck in the market to pay my own school fees. I had to do what I had to do. So don't say that you don't have the money or you didn't have the people to give you the money. You know, today's, like we're talking with Laddie earlier, today's young people or people generally today just think that everybody owes them. Nobody owes you anything. Your destiny is in your hand. You determine what you become. All right. So the time to begin to develop yourself is now. The time to, you don't have enough time. If you're 30, the most active time on earth for you that you have vigor is less than 35 years. If you're already 40, you're down to 25 years. If you're 50, you virtually have 15 active years to work and to leave a legacy. By the time you're approaching 70, all right? By the time you're approaching 70, you won't be running from one city to the other and saying you want to fulfill purpose. You don't have that strength. Right now is the time. And that is the reason why I am very passionate about talking to young people when I have the opportunity. It's not like I don't speak to elderly ones, but I speak to young people when I have the opportunity and try to, charge them into acting, charge them into the course of their life, because time is ticking. Time is ticking. When I was 20, everything was looking like I had enough time. Now I'm almost 50. That's like a span of 30 years had passed. 30 years had passed. Imagine I didn't sow into these 30 years. I won't have anything to be looking forward to reap. Okay? So investing in yourself is sowing. And you are the best ground wherein you can sow. If you can invest in your mind is fertile. Is actually the most fertile part of any life. The fertile ground is your mind. Can you invest in it today? Can you invest in it today? I'm going to put my phone line, my WhatsApp line on the screen, and I like to encourage you to engage with me. I am a certified management consultant. Besides being a leadership coach, I am an enterprise development expert. I'm a human resource coach, and I will be excited. I will sincerely be excited to engage you in the process of growing. You are going to be the one that will sort us out, especially with respect to the issue of solving Nigeria's electricity challenge. All right. The public power supply have just gone off, and I would have to go and put on the generator. And so I would indulge you I will request that you stay tuned and don't your demand. All right, it's good to be back. And I was actually about wrapping this up, and I was saying that you can make sure that you act on the information that is coming to you right now. Chat with me. Let's engage, and let's see how your capacity can be built up through the engagement of your mind by the infusion of new information on a constant basis. Don't fail to invest in yourself. That's the best investment you can make. And so it's been nice coming to you on this platform, and I'm excited. We will do this again sometime during the weekend or in the new week. Tomorrow, the tripod of life that comes up every Saturday is not going to be up because we have quite a weekend in our hands, and we need to engage with all those that require our services. So it's been a beautiful time coming to you. Once again, I thank Ladi Felix who joined me from Abuja earlier in the program. It's been a wonderful evening. God bless you. Have a lovely night.